Hold on to your safety goggles because this might surprise you. Did you know that all the used nuclear fuel ever produced in the United States could fit on a football field stacked about 10 yards high? It's true. Nuclear power generates a lot less waste than you might think. Compare that to the mountains of garbage we produce every single day. Now, I'm not saying nuclear waste isn't something to take seriously, it is. But it's important to keep things in perspective. This relatively small amount of waste is manageable with the right approach. We just need to get smarter about how we handle it. Nuclear waste gets a bad rap, and it's not hard to see why. We've all seen the movies. Glowing green goo, people getting superpowers, not the good kind, and cities evacuated in a panic. But the reality is a bit more complicated. Nuclear waste is radioactive, which means it emits energy that can be harmful in large doses. This radiation decays over time, but some types of waste can stay dangerous for a really long time. That's why people are understandably concerned about it. But here's the thing. We've learned a lot about handling radioactive materials safely. With the proper precautions, we can transport, store, and even reprocess nuclear waste without putting people or the environment at risk. Managing nuclear waste is like trying to solve a really complicated puzzle. There are lots of factors to consider: how to keep it safe, where to put it, and what to do with it in the long run. One of the biggest challenges is finding a permanent home for nuclear waste. Right now, most countries store it in temporary facilities, which isn't ideal. We need a long-term solution that will keep this material safely contained for hundreds or even thousands of years. And then there's the environmental impact. We have to make sure that nuclear waste doesn't leak into the environment and contaminate water or soil. That means designing robust storage containers and monitoring them carefully. Not all nuclear waste is created equal. It comes in different forms with varying levels of radioactivity. Think of it like sorting your recycling. High-level waste, like the used fuel from nuclear reactors, is the most radioactive and needs to be carefully managed for a long time. Low-level waste, on the other hand, includes things like contaminated tools and protective clothing. It's less dangerous and can often be disposed of more easily. Right now, the most common way to dispose of high-level waste is to store it in dry casks. These are super strong containers made of steel and concrete that are designed to withstand just about anything. But as I mentioned before, this is just a temporary solution. We need to find a permanent home for this stuff. Section 5, From Waste to Wonder, the promise of new tech. Here's where things get really exciting. Scientists and engineers are developing new technologies that can actually recycle or repurpose nuclear waste. That's right, we could turn this so-called waste into a valuable resource. One promising technology is called fast neutron reactors. These reactors can use nuclear waste as fuel, generating more energy and reducing the volume of waste at the same time. It's like hitting the recycling jackpot. And that's not all. Researchers are also exploring ways to use nuclear waste to produce valuable medical isotopes, create batteries that last for decades, and even develop new materials for space exploration. Section 6, Turning Trash into Treasure. A shining example. Let me tell you about a place called Savannah Riverside in South Carolina. They've developed a way to turn high-level nuclear waste into a special type of glass called vitrified waste. This glass locks the radioactive material inside, making it much safer to handle and store. But here's the really cool part. They're also using this vitrified waste to power homes and businesses. The heat generated by the radioactive decay is used to create steam, which drives turbines to generate electricity. It's a win-win situation. This is just one example of how we can turn nuclear waste from a burden into an asset. With a little ingenuity and a lot of science, we can find new and innovative ways to utilize this material. Section 7. Rethinking the nuclear waste narrative. It's time to change the conversation around nuclear waste. Instead of seeing it as a scary problem, we need to start thinking of it as a valuable resource. With the right technologies and a bit of creativity, we can transform this so-called waste into a source of clean energy, life-saving medical treatments, and even technological advancements. The key is to invest in research and development, support innovative companies working in this field, and educate the public about the true potential of nuclear waste. Together, we can turn this challenge into an opportunity. Section 8. Join the conversation, nuclear waste's future. So what do you think? Are you ready to rethink nuclear waste? I encourage you to learn more about this fascinating topic and share your thoughts with others. The future of energy depends on our ability to have open and informed discussions about all of our options, including nuclear power and the management of its byproducts. Let's keep the conversation going.